Hey everybody, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about something pretty trippy from the Bhagavad Gita, and that is Maya. And joining us for this deep dive is an expert on the topic, so welcome.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, so we've got some interesting stuff to talk about. Basically, Maya, right? It's like this idea that reality, like what we see and experience, well, it might not be exactly what it seems. Kind of like a veil, right? And we're going to be exploring this whole concept based on an episode of the Inner Alchemy podcast called Maya Illusion in the Bhagavad Gita, Understanding Reality and Breaking Free. So, we're going to talk about what Maya is, how it messes with our perception, and most importantly, how to kind of see through it. So what do you say we just jump right in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so first things first. What exactly is Maya according to the Bhagavad Gita?
Well, the Gita describes Maya as this kind of like an illusion, It's this sort of cosmic trickery that makes us think the physical world is real and permanent, that this is all there is. But actually, it's not.
Okay, so it's not just that we're kind of missing the bigger picture. It's like we're being actively fooled.
Exactly. The Gita makes a really clear distinction between this material world, which is, temporary, always changing, and our true essence, our Atman, or the soul, which is eternal and unchanging.
So Maya is kind of like that thing that makes us forget about our true selves and gets us all caught up in this temporary stuff. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so how does that even happen? Like, how does Maya actually work to create this illusion?
So the Gita talks about this thing called Prakriti, which basically means nature. And Prakriti is like this force that weaves the illusion of Maya. It was kind of like a magician, creating this captivating show to distract us from what's really going on.
Oh, I see. So Prakriti is like the grand illusionist, and Maya is the show that keeps us mesmerized.
Precisely.
Okay, so now I'm really curious. How does this Maya affect us in like our daily lives? How does it show up?
Well, it's pretty sneaky. Maya's like constantly whispering in our ear, telling us that happiness is found in material possessions, status, all that external stuff. But the Gita points out that this type of happiness is fleeting, temporary, and actually keeps us bound to the cycle of birth and death. And it's all because we're looking for fulfillment in places where it just doesn't exist,
Yeah, it's like we're chasing a mirage in the desert, right? Never quite reaching it. So how do we break free from this Maya? How do we wake up from the illusion? The podcast mentioned some paths, right?
Definitely. The Bhagavad Gita offers a number of paths to liberation from Maya, each with its own emphasis. But they all kind of point towards the same goal, which is self-realization. Basically, that's that aha moment when you realize you are not your body or your mind. You are something much greater, the eternal Atman.
Okay, but how do we actually do that? In a practical sense, how do we move from feeling trapped to experiencing that freedom?
Well, one of the key practices the Gita emphasizes is detachment. It's not about renouncing the world or giving up all your possessions or anything drastic like that. It's more about changing your relationship with those things, learning to enjoy them without getting attached to them, without needing them for your happiness.
Is it kind of like appreciating things for what they are, but not letting them define you or control your emotions?
Right. Yeah, exactly. The Gita also talks about devotion to a higher power as a way to connect with that deeper reality, beyond the illusion of Maya. And of course, seeking spiritual wisdom or jnana, which can help us see through those illusions.
It's interesting, because some of these ideas actually resonate with modern psychology too. We talk about cognitive biases, right? And conditioning, all these things that kind of distort our perceptions. It's almost like a secular version of Maya, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, for sure. The Bhagavad Gita's emphasis on self-awareness and mindfulness kind of aligns with what a lot of therapeutic approaches aim for today. It's all about recognizing those mental patterns and habits that contribute to our suffering. And ultimately, whether we call it Maya or something else, the challenge is the same, It's about waking up to those illusions that keep us from experiencing true freedom and happiness.
So Maya might not be like this literal force field or anything, but it sure feels incredibly real in our everyday lives, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We experience its effects all the time. And this deep dive is just scratching the surface of this vast topic. There's so much more to explore.
Yeah, this is definitely like just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole ocean of wisdom in the Bhagavad Gita. But hopefully this conversation has at least sparked some curiosity and maybe given you some things to think about in terms of your own life. What are some of those things that you might be chasing that aren't truly fulfilling? How can you start to shift your perspective and maybe loosen Maya's grip a little bit?
Yeah, great questions.
So we encourage you to keep pondering these ideas, keep exploring, and see what insights come up for you. And until next time, keep diving deep.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.